welcome everybody to the Unagi Sayaka Watch, where we keep updates on Unagi Sayaka since she went freelancing back last year in October of 2022. We keep updates on what wrestling events she's been appearing from, what promotion, who her opponents are, who she's been teaming with, what daily activities she's been involved in outside of wrestling, the whole enchilada. I am your host, Gerard here. If you are new to the channel, thank you for coming. Hope you guys enjoyed. If you're a big fan of Unagi, then click subscribe into the channel and you will enjoy every update that Unagi Sayaka has been involved in. And if you guys like this episode, give us a like, give us a comment, and we'll get the show on the road. So, it's been a while since I have done now an Unagi Sayaka watch, so let's begin with some of the reviews and matches she has been involved. Now, recently, one of her recent matches she was involved was in a three-way match with Diana for the 47th anniversary show for Jaguar Yokota. Now, she was involved in a three-way match. Her opponents were Asuka, as you know her as Veni, and of course, former NXT star Saraya, or as we know her, Sari. This is the first time that Unagi has ever been in the same ring with them. There have been some good moments, but however, I did not see this particular match. It was, of course, Asuka who picked up the win. However, this match also led to the opening and discussion. Now, Saraya is one of those women who hasn't been in Japan for quite some time. It appears now that she's paying attention towards Unagi Sayaka. Apparently, she is now kind of interested in her. Now, I wouldn't be surprised if Unagi gets her one-on-one match. So basically, Unagi may have lost it, but it appears that someone is now paying attention. So we'll see how that turns out. Now, as you all know, Unagi has been involved in many of 01's annual tournament, Fire Festival, which is like their version of the G1. However, the only difference in this one, Unagi is the only female participant in this particular tournament. Now, her much recent event that she was in right now, this one's a very interesting one. This one is a Fire Blast title match that took place on the 22nd of July. So basically, she was involved in one of those exploding baseball bat death matches. She teams up with Jaguar to take on Aja Kong and, of course, Lady Destroyer, Hiroyo Matsumoto. Now, I know that Unagi has been trying to get a match against her. However, Aja Kong laid out the challenge that she will face her in a exploding baseball bat death match. I have to say it was a much different pace than Unagi has ever been in. Now, this is the first time that Unagi has ever been in these type matches. Now, I did say I hope that Unagi got in contact with the one person who has been in this type of match before. And that is, of course, Tam Nakano. But she did pretty well for herself. But unfortunately, she ended up losing the match, which she got pinned by Aja Kong. So, just like that. Now, her next match with 01 took place on the 26th, which is part of the Fire Festival, part of the A Block. Unfortunately, she was in a match against Junta Matsumaya. Didn't go so well, so she ended up losing this match. Well, apparently she hasn't won any matches in the Fire Festival, but she has made the most of it, from my understanding. Now, her next match took place on the 27th of July, which is part of the Fire Festival, part of the A Block. Unfortunately, she was in a match against Junta Matsumaya. Didn't go so well, so she ended up losing this match. Well, apparently she hasn't won any matches in the Now, her next match took place on the 27th of July in Shinkiba. She was wrestling in Marvelous. She teams up with a wrestler name that you may have heard of, Nightshade. Now, ironically, I know about Nightshade. I've seen her in matches, but apparently she's an old acquaintance from Unagi's former best friend, Mina Shirakawa. Now, I've always wondered, what does Mina have to say that her former friend teamed up with Nightshade? But however, some clips reveal that they didn't got up on the right foot. Their opponents is none other than Magenta, consistent of Maria and Riko Kawahara. But somehow, Unagi and Nightshade picked up the win. So, very interesting. And there's a good photo of them, taking photos together. I wouldn't be surprised if they team up again somewhere down the line. Now, our next two matches are part of the Fire Festival, but one is part of the tournament. Um, Unagi's final match was against Takaya Saya, um, whatever his name is. This took place on the 28th. She did not pick up a win on this one, so she lost. Now, she was winless in this entire tournament. But she did have another match that took place the following day, which was the finals of the Fire Festival. She plays against Shoki Katsumura, and she lost that particular match too. So I have to say, but she did say that she put a lot of effort into this Fire Festival. I think this is the best thing for her that ever happened. Even Fuminori Abe has talked about that too. But I wouldn't be surprised if she gets invited next year. So yeah, so that's a lot of fun, and I think this experience with Unagi with Fire Festival has put her in a different perspective, knowing that she's been involved in, you know, doing hardcore stuff, you know, going through tables, exploding baseball bats, that sort of thing. But that's pretty interesting that she got involved, and I have to say she was a lot more gutsy than I anticipated. Now, upcoming matches that are taking place. There is one taking place real soon on the 4th of August. This Friday, we have for the GLEAT version Mega, Unagi will team up with, of course, Yukari Hosokawa. This time she teams up with Dash from Sendai Girls and Kyoko Inoue. They take on, once again, Michiko Miyagi, AOI, Risa Sera, and Janai Kai. So that's going to be interesting to see. Now, this next one is part of the All Japan show that will take place on the 6th of August. Apparently, she began a bit of a beef with Atsushi Onita. You may know him from the Frontier Martial Arts Wrestling, one of the pioneers of death matches. Apparently, issued a challenge for the Exploding Death Match. Apparently, it's going to be a 3-on-3 type of match. However, Onita did pick his team, and that is the people he picked is Hikaru Sato, someone who Unagi has dealt with, and Miss Mongol 1, I don't think Unagi has ever come across. However, the obvious question was who was going to be Unagi's partners. Well, this is where it gets interesting. Once again, Yoshitatsu volunteered. So it's like, yay! So he decides to volunteer and join. However, the third person, that was a bit more tricky. She had to ask two people. One was Murder Grandpa himself, Minoru Suzuki. He said no. Next, a guy that she got in the face many times, Suwama. He said no. So the obvious question is, who was next? But truth to be told, I had a feeling she should have been the first one to ask. And once again, she was brought into more of Unagi's shenanigans. The leader of colors, Saki. Apparently, she called her. You may see that on her YouTube channel. So she called her about the fireworks. So Saki's the third person involved in this, so it's like, oh boy. But I did laugh when I posted it, when this was on Twitter announced, and I said I knew she would be the one because it's obvious. Saki gets dragged into Unagi's shenanigans, but nonetheless, it happened. So that's gonna come up on August 6th. So hopefully I get the chance to see it because it's gonna be a lot of fun. Now for the upcoming matches still. On the following day, on August 7th in Gorkin Hall, again in Marvelous, Unagi will be facing against Sakura Iroha. This is something that was brought upon by Takumi Iroha during a Marvelous event. Apparently, she said that she knows Unagi's weakness, and I'm not Sakura, but Unagi seems thrilled that this is gonna be the one person she is looking forward to it. But if I was Unagi, I would try to run away. Do not let her point her fingers up her a-hole. That's the thing she doesn't need. So yes. Now, this our last upcoming match. This one was a very interesting one. Yoshiko Hasegawa said that she had nothing available for her at Gangjo, or as we know it, Ganbare Joshi. So she said that she was looking for an opponent on social media, And she called out Unagi. And of course, Unagi replied, said yes. So this is going to be interesting. Now, I wasn't sure the reason she did for Hasegawa to do this. I wouldn't be surprised was because A, she's seeing how Unagi is. You see, here's the thing. Last year, when Unagi made an appearance in Ganbare Pro for Wrestle Sekigahara, she faced Yuna Manaze. And of course, um, Riara is one of Hasegawa's closest friends. So I wouldn't be surprised if that was the case. That maybe she wants to have a crack at her. I wouldn't know, but it would be most likely like that. So it's now been official that it will take place on August 11th. Hopefully, I get the chance to see it because I really like to see how this one goes. Now, however, I haven't seen the matches that I reviewed. I haven't seen any of them. I've seen clips on them on Twitter. Pretty interesting, but we'll see how that goes. So if you guys are caught up to what's been going on with Unagi, go on social media to check them out or try to look on the internet, see what you can find. So I think that's pretty much it right now for Unagi Sayaka. So coming up, we got the next episode that only will feature AEW Dynamite and more of the G1 by New Japan Pro Wrestling. So, until then, I must bid all of you adieu. So, goodbye. And have a nice day.